themselves to their role of a mother? Do you know any women who are so overtasked and overwhelmed that they've stopped doing the things that they love to do that feeds their soul? Did you know that mothers of young children have one of the highest rates of depression amongst women? My name is Erin Cox, and my mission is to serve and support women through my writing and speaking to live more joyful and fulfilled lives. Now, being a mom is one of the biggest blessings that you can have in your life. You know, I know when I had my own children, when we found out we were expecting a baby, the joy was just overwhelming, unlike anything I'd experienced to that point. Then your whole 9 months of pregnancy, you're just anticipating and getting so excited to meet that new human being that's growing inside of you. And, you know, it's just a time filled with joy and anticipation and happiness. And then a baby's born, and, you know, I remember when my 2 daughters were born, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Just bringing a new life into this world is such a beautiful experience, and you're sitting there holding your baby and just overwhelmed with all these emotions. And overall, it's just such an amazing experience. And then you go home with that baby, and you realize how hard it is, because that little baby is dependent on you for everything. And it's very needy, and, you know, she's crying in the middle of the night, you're not getting a lot of sleep, and you realize that it's not going to be an easy experience, although it will be one of the most fulfilling experiences. And so, you know, motherhood obviously is just such a joyful experience. And for me personally, after I had my first daughter, I loved being a mom, but I was still working long hours as an engineer. My husband's in the military, he's gone a lot, he's a really busy guy. Between raising my baby and working and, you know, trying to lose the baby weight and exercising, I took very little time for myself to practice the things that fulfilled my soul spiritually. I stopped practicing meditation, I stopped writing, all those things that really made me feel joy on a different level. And then I underwent a really tragic experience in my life. We found out we were expecting our second baby. We went in for the first ultrasound, heard the heartbeat, got very excited. And then when we went in for the second ultrasound, there was no heartbeat. And it was very tragic. And it put me into a place that I'd never been. It was a very serious depression, and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I looked inward. That's when I started meditating and praying in the morning. And through meditation and prayer, I started recovering and healing. And I do remember one time when I was praying, asking God, why me? All of a sudden, it's as though God painted a picture for me of women all around the world suffering. Women who lose children in much more tragic situations, women who can't feed their children, women who don't have clean water for their children to drink. And it just made me realize that there are women all over this world that need love and support. And that the pain that I was feeling helped me understand, to a small degree, the pain that women do feel. And, you know, right now in my life, I can't go help the women all around the world, but I can help women all around me. You know, I started looking around and seeing that I had many women right down the street that were suffering from depression, who felt like they were losing that thing that made them special. I had friends, I had people that I was going to coach that were suffering because they felt just like they were spinning their wheels, like they weren't living their God-given purpose. And so I believe that we can support these women, lift them up, help them do those things that make them feel fulfilled. So join me by supporting the mothers in your life. Offer them your help and your support and your encouragement. Offer to watch their kids so they can get out and do something that feeds their soul. If you are one of these mothers, take people up on their offers to help. Leave your children with your family and go do something that really feeds your spirit. Go paint, go do a meditation class, go do something that really makes you feel fulfilled. The implications are immeasurable. Supporting mothers will lead to better marriages, healthier families, and more self-confident, well-rounded children.